Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for Qigong this morning. Thank you, Dr. Drani, for joining us, and welcome, and I will turn it over to you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mindy. I don't know exactly what you said, but I was watching you. So Mindy probably mentioned that I cannot hear anyone else, but you can hear me. And the chat is the best place to ask questions. So we were going to start off today with any questions that anyone has from last week's class. And then if they're after the questions, or if there's no questions, then I'm just going to go into what we're going to do today. Oh, okay. So someone has a question. So I know some people are still joining. If you had a question about the Qigong shaking, the first 3 movements that we learned, anything I mentioned about the fire dragon form, many aspects of it that I mentioned that you might want more clarification on or understanding of, feel free to ask. If you don't have any questions right now, we will open up at the end of the half an hour review and learning to questions that might come up for you while we're doing the practice. I'll give you all maybe another 5 minutes and then we'll start the practice. One thing you can do while we're waiting potentially for questions is I'm going to show you an aside. This is an exercise I have my patients do. It's kind of a whole body stretch. It's a good way to wake up in the morning. Depending on how mobile you are, you can do it sitting. And when you do it sitting, you basically end up just moving the upper body. But if you do it standing, you can integrate your whole body into it. So for it, if you have something around you, it's a good reinforcement, like a bowl or a cup that doesn't have anything in it, preferably metal or plastic if you have that, because if you drop it, it won't break or shatter like glass. I like holding something that's glass because I like the weight of it. I'll be right back. I'm getting a bowl. So if you have a bowl or a cup, go ahead and grab it and I'll be right back. Sorry about that. That was me tripping over the cord. Change the direction. I'm on the West Coast. It's a little dark here, so I had to bring in a lamp so that you can see me. So I have a bowl in my hand. Okay. I'm going to step back. So the aim of this little stretch is to keep the bowl upright. Imagine there's liquid in it. So the whole time that you're doing this exercise, your hand is making a cup. So you can do it with a bowl or you can do it without, just so that you have your hand up like a cup. So this is a martial arts exercise. I call it the bowl stretch. You can also call it the drunken master stretch, because when you're doing it, it'll look like you're drunk and moving around. So bowl in hand, I'm going to step back. Okay, so you see the bowl in my hand, and you don't want to overthink it. If you do, you will hesitate and you will start to do other things. So this is a good way to learn how to turn off your mind while you're doing it. You'll know you're overthinking because you'll hesitate. So it's a reminder to go back into being present. So bowl in hand, okay, bowl up. So we're gonna go inward. So inward means you go in, and that's all you need to remember. Inward, And then you bring your arm around, keeping the bowl upright and forward, okay? So go inward. You don't need to think about where your arm is going, but keeping the bowl upright there. If you're seated, you do this same thing, bowl upright, inward, so you go inward and up. The other thing you can do is you can use your eyes to follow the bowl. And what that does is it works your neck and it works your eye muscles. So I'm going to watch the bowl as it goes inward and comes around. Okay? So we've done it 3 times. Ideally, you want to do it 9 times, but because of time, I'm just going to go ahead and do the whole thing with you 3 times, okay? So now we're going to go outwards. The bowl is here, outward. You go out and outward again, out. And one more time, and I'll do it standing, outward. So this was inward, this is outward. Okay, let's do the other side. Okay, inward. And you can move as much as you want. If you feel like you want to just practice this, part of it, you can just move your upper body. But if you start integrating your lower body, so you're moving, I'm really going for it, okay? And what happens is, if you've done it just now, you'll notice that you feel a stretch on the inside of your body. You feel a stretch in your arms, so it works all your joints, especially the hand, because you're doing this movement. So if you've been at a computer typing, you know about carpal tunnel, especially if you mouse with one hand, you'll feel like pain in the wrist. This exercise gets you to loosen up those joints so that the bones fall into place. It will also help you find places that you have pain. So if you do it and it feels, you're like right here and it feels really tight, don't go any further. That's where you're at. Come back, do number 2, number 3, and you do a little every day. So you do it once a day at least, this exercise, and then over time you'll notice that you can start to do the movement and you'll hear clicking going on in your spine, because all of this will get your spine loosened up. So you're working that, and you'll notice areas where you have discomfort or pain. You don't want to go through it to do the whole movement. You kind of stop, come back, go back to that, and that's where you are for that time period. You want to do both directions, so inward and outward. Okay. If you have any questions about that right now, I can answer. Otherwise, we're going to get going on the Qigong form, the fire dragon. Okay. I'll give you a minute or 2, and then I will start the class. Let me know if anyone's having any trouble hearing me. Okay. Okay, so with Fire Dragon, last time we did the Qigong shaking, the bowl exercise. So I call it the bowl exercise, or the drunken master stretch. So you can call it the bowl exercise. That's the easiest way to remember that, yeah. And it is, Madeline said it's definitely harder to do with my non-dominant hand. I had to hold thumbs as an anchor of a mild essential tremor in the hands. Yes, so do it gently, Madeline. Don't force any of it. And notice any changes that might happen while you're doing it. It also, what it does is it integrates left and right brain, because you're doing both sides, you're doing both directions, but it also works the front of your body and the back of your body in the stretch. I think it's a very simple way to stretch without isolating specific muscles, because when we move in groups. There are certain activities that we do where we pick up things where we're using specific muscles, running, walking, but when you're moving through space, you are using your whole body, and often we get stuck in places where we have pain, and we start walking differently because that pain is there. The hips do move. If you stand up and do this movement, your hips do move. So you just go where you are. Don't fixate on all that's supposed to move. See what happens. So right now I'm not really moving my hips, but now I'm moving my hips. So it's you can do it at the level you feel comfortable doing it. When you start to do it more easily, it depends on your mood that day. Like maybe you don't want to move that much in the movement, and you can make it very still. You'll notice the little changes, or you can make them big movements, and your entire body can move in it too. Okay. So if there aren't any more questions about this, I'm going to start the Qigong. So last time we did the Qigong shaking, we'll do it for a few minutes. I'll quickly go through it, and then we'll start the form. Hopefully today I can go through the first half of the form, which is the neck, shoulders, hips, knees, and feet. And then next time, which is in January, we meet, we'll do the whole form, including the second part of it, which is more working with Qi and doing a stance. Hopefully I have time today to go over the closing. If not, we will do it next time. So the closing is a little involved, and it's not just how I showed you with curving your hands in, taking your thumb and pretending like you're holding bags and slowly releasing one finger at a time. That's a quick one to use. Potentially we'll use it today if I don't go over the full closing. Okay, so if you can stand or sit, whichever is comfortable for you right now. Feet together, arms at your side, pretending like there's a, oops, I'm going to have to be careful I don't knock the light over. Pretending like there's a tennis ball under your arms so that your arms are not next to your body like this. There's a little bit of a gap, and your arms are loose but tense. So relaxed with a little bit of tension, like you feel like they're there. You're almost like you're holding a couple of evenly weighted grocery bags in your hands. Okay, so feet together. You're going to take a step to the right. It's about shoulder width apart. Shoulder width is your shoulders looking down, and you want your feet, the inside of your feet, to be about that distance, not the outside, but the inside. Okay, that's a pretty stable posture. It's like almost like a triangle, so it keeps you from falling over. Okay, so we're going to go up on our toes, stretch. Take your fingers and stretch them to the heavens. So this is the calligraphy symbol for man in Chinese. It's a person with their arms outstretched. Or human being. This is us connecting with the heavens, and our feet connecting to the ground, and we're the conduit between the two. So that's really what Qigong is about, is energy flowing from above and from below through us. Okay, so take a deep breath. Hold your breath. You're going to bend down and jump up and release with that sound. Okay, let's try it one more time. Take a deep breath in, stretch when you're ready, and you can do the bending down is comfortable for you. So you bend down, you're still on your toes, and you release and you land on your feet. Now you shake. So we're going to go through levels of shaking. So you're going to shake your fingers like noodles or octopus tentacles. Whatever visualization helps you to visualize for yourself what that feels like. Elbows, shoulders, hips, knees, feet. And the way I do the feet shaking is I'll stamp. You can do it rhythmically. You can jump. You can jump lightly. Depends on what you're comfortable with right now. Okay, now we're going to go through the spinal level. So we're going to start at the top of the head. Imagine like golden light coming into your body from above. Don't forget to breathe, okay? Okay, now we're going to go down the back of the head to the neck vertebrae. There's 7, okay? We're going to start with the first one, which is right at the base of the skull, a little in. You're going to shake right above it, okay? Now we're going between 1 and 2. You can close your eyes when you do this if it helps you visualize. Shake that out. 2 and 3. 3 and 4. This is about the middle of your neck. 4 and 5. 5 and 6. That's at the base of your neck. 6 and 7. That's like the little bump on the back of your neck. 7, and then the first vertebrae in your upper back, your thoracic vertebrae. There's 10 and 2. That's 12 there, and each of them is connected to a rib. Okay, so this is the rib cage. And also in your back, you have your shoulder blade. So that'll be like a reference for you to kind of pay attention. So if you're noticing that when I went through the neck area, you got distracted, you started thinking about other things, or you felt a little discomfort, pay attention to where that was. It's just for you to share with your, if you have a chiropractor, that's a good person to share it with, or an acupuncturist. Or your primary care, if you've been having neck pain or other issues, you can share that location with them, okay? So now the first, between the 7th neck vertebrae, cervical vertebrae, and the first upper body or thoracic vertebrae, that's about where your collarbone is, okay? So 1 and 2 in the upper back, 2 and 3. 3 and 4. Notice how your breathing is affected as you're going through this. Okay, 3 is about level with the top of your shoulder blade. 4 and 5. 5 and 6. 6 and 7. We're coming to the bottom of the shoulder blade. 7 and 8. 8 and 9, 9 and 10. Your 10th vertebrae rib is the last one that goes all the way around from the back to the front of your body, your rib cage. 10 and 11, your 11th vertebrae comes to, it's hard to see, comes to your side right there. So 11 and 12, your 12th vertebrae doesn't go all the way to the side. It's a free floating one that comes to the mid back, and the 11th is free floating also. Okay, now we're going to go into the lower back. That's your lumbar vertebrae. That's where most people have a lot of pain. That's also where the curve in your back is. Okay, so we're going to go between the 12th vertebrae in the upper back to the low back vertebrae. So 12 and 1, 1 and 2. 2 and 3, it's about where your waistline is. 3 and 4, now we're going into the low back. 4 and 5, that's going into your sacral area, your hip bone is right here. 5, and the first sacral vertebrae. Now we're into the low back, the tailbone. We're going to shake that all out. Take a moment to notice where you got distracted, where you have some pain or discomfort. You're shaking the spaces in between. Okay. I'm going to tap our belly. And I do it towards right side to the left side. That's the direction of digestion. So your large intestine goes up here, goes across, and down on the left. So you watching me, you're seeing the opposite. So go up on the right, this is my right, across the body, and down on the left. So that's the direction you're tapping. You're going to tap the back about where the 12th rib is, right near the kidneys. Gently tap. You're going to tap the outside of your legs. Down to your feet, your toes, go around, come up on the inside of your legs. Good. Tap the front. Going to tap with the bottom of your hand, the top of the arm. Go to the fingertips. Go underneath the arm. Okay. Cross. Now you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Top of the palm on the top of the arm. Fingertips. And now you're going to take the back of that hand and tap the underneath. Tap. Gently tap your head. I'm wearing glasses. Taking it off. Okay. Tapping the front of the face like this. Rubbing the ears. Tapping the back. Okay, take a few seconds to close your eyes and notice any areas that you want to loosen up that are feeling like you have pain. Okay, and this is whatever you need. Okay. Okay, stop. Take a few deep breaths. Notice how your body's feeling right now. Okay, open your eyes if they're closed. Okay, so if you're seated, we'll stay there. If you're standing, we're going to do the first three movements standing. Okay, and you want your feet shoulder width apart. Standing in a good posture, knees slightly bent. Okay. So you're going to take a deep breath in, you chin to chest. Take a deep breath in and bring your head slowly back. And as you exhale through your nose, bring your chin to your chest again. And you want to go back as far as it's comfortable for you. Not if you have pain with it, stop before you feel the pain. Okay, that's as far as you need to go today. Take a deep breath in. And breathe out as you come forward. Breathe in. And breathe out. So we're just going to do this 3 times. Normally it's 9. When we do it a full form, we will do it 9 times. Okay, bring your head back to center. Now we're going to do the next movement. Take a breath in and turn your head to the left, your left. Breathe out as you come back to center. Breathe in as you go to the right. Breathe out as you come back to center. You're breathing in and out through your nose, okay? Breathe in to the left. Breathe out as you come back to center. Breathe in to the right. Breathe out as you come back to center. As you breathe in, your belly goes out. As you breathe out, your belly button goes to your spine, okay? Breathe in to the left. Breathe out as you come back to center. Breathe in to the right. Breathe out as you come back to center. Okay. Next movement, chin to chest. Take a breath in through your nose and you're rotating. So you're going up on the left. Breathing out as you come down on the right. Breathe in as you go up on the left. Breathe out as you come down on the right. One more time. Breathe in as you go up on the left. Breathe out as you come down on the right. When you get to the bottom, stop. Now we're going to breathe in as we come up on the right. Breathe out as we come down on the left. Breathe in as you go up on the right. Breathe out as you come down on the left. One more time. Breathe in as you go up on the right. Breathe out as you come down on the left. Okay. Slowly bring your head back to center. Now we're doing the next part. This is the shoulders, okay? You're going to see my hands do this back and forth. I'm not consciously doing it. It's because of the movements. They're loose. It's kind of like a, I don't know if you've seen those giant inflatable figures that you see at like car dealerships that are like waving in the wind. It's just going with the movement, okay? So don't worry about what my hands are doing. Your hands will do the same thing when you're doing it. But the important thing is the breathing. So when you breathe in, your belly goes out. When you breathe out, your belly button goes in. Like think of it pressing into your spine. So when you're doing that, what we talked about last time, the bellows movement, like you're fanning the flames of the internal fire. This is fire dragon. The fire is your yang, Y-A-N-G, energy. It's your life force. And this is like the bellows kind of, the Qigong practice is waking up that yang energy to give you health, vitality, to get the Qi moving in your body. So the breath is really important. You can watch someone doing all these motions and go, oh, I know what that is. I can do Qigong. But the secret part of the Qigong is how you're breathing. You can see the belly go in and out, and you think the person's doing a specific thing, but they may be doing something else that you may not know about. So in this particular form, when you breathe in, belly goes out. When you breathe out, belly button to the spine. And when I'm telling you to breathe with the movements, there's a specific reason for doing that, because it's engendering that yang energy with the movements that are helping open up the joints. So shoulders first. So just like when I showed you the bowl movement, there's a two-directional movement with this too. So you're going to take a breath in, belly goes out, and you're going to roll your shoulders back. Breathe in and breathe out, belly button to the spine. Breathe in, breathe out, belly button to the spine. Breathe in. See my belly go out? Breathe out, belly button to the spine. It's caving in, okay? Now we're going to do the opposite direction, but we're going to take a breath in first before we start moving. Take a breath in. Breathe out as you bring your shoulders forward. Breathe in. Breathe out as you bring your shoulders forward. Breathe in. One more time. Breathe out as you bring your shoulders forward. Okay? So I'll show you here. When you breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. We'll do this one more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay? So that's the shoulder movements. We'll review the whole thing before I go to questions. So now we're going to use that curve in the back, the lumbar area, your low back area where the curve is. Right where the curve is, right about waistline, there's a curve. You can see it on my back. You're going to make a fist, okay? So women make a fist with your right hand, and your left hand is open. Men make a fist with your left hand, and your right hand is open, okay? And that, I'll talk about why that is in a bit. So women, left hand fist, right hand open. Men, left hand fist, right hand open. You're going to take your open hand and put it in the curve. And you're going to take your fist and place it in that hand. So there's a point there, it's called spirit gate, Shenmen. Placing the hand there, it's like a lock and key. You're locking it up. And remember from last time, your perineum is held. So your lower body is like a bowl again, without and it has a hole. So you're closing up that hole to protect and keep the energy you're generating. You might actually feel a little sweaty and hot right now. That's that yang energy kind of rising in your body. I definitely feel that way. And I didn't go for a vigorous run. I'm just doing movements and shaking. So you want to hold that energy in your body. So women, left hand open, right hand fist. Okay. And this next movement is for the hips. So I'll just show you how not to do it. So you've probably seen people do exercise where they're loosening up their hips. They're like doing something like this. So this movement is very similar to that, but it's done in a way just like belly dancers. They keep their upper body stationary and they're moving their hips. It does not look like this. It's this. So what that does is it isolates the upper body, and then you're doing the rotation around the hips, and it works the sacral area and the hip joint more than doing this movement where you're getting everything to move together. Okay, so that's not the way to do it. The way you want to do it is like belly dancer. Okay, so open hand in the back, hand with the fist, closed hand on top of it. Okay, so we're going to do this in two directions, and with this Qigong form, we always start on the left side. So there's a breathing part to this, but we'll do the movement first. So you're going to move your hip to the left, circle around, come around to the front. Move your hip to the left. I'm already hearing clicking on my hips. Circle around, come around to the front. And one more time, to the left, circle around, come around to the front. Now we're gonna add the breathing in, okay? So you're gonna take a deep breath in, circle around. As you come around to the front, you're going to breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Go to the left, breathe in. Breathe out. And when you get to the left, stop. Now we're going to go forward. Take a breath in to the right. Breathe out as you come around to the left. Breathe in as you go to the right. Breathe out as you come to the left. Breathe in. Breathe out. Stop. So normally this is done 9 times, but for sake of teaching you, I'm doing it 3 times. So what happens when you do the breathing? You're breathing with your belly out, belly button to the spine. So you're going out, in, and underneath you're going around, and right above that area and between your diaphragm, where the diaphragm, when you breathe in, that diaphragm drops down. When you breathe out, the diaphragm goes up. So you're doing in and out, you're doing up and down on the upper part right here where your diaphragm is, around your belly button area. And then your hips are doing this motion. And what you're doing to all the organs in the body, you're bringing more blood flow. So this movement is like squeezing in all directions, and it's massaging the inside of your body so that you get more blood flow to that area. So just this simple movement of breathing and moving your hips. Okay, let's review it one more time. Okay, so we're going to start open hand on your spine, fist hand right above it like a lock. You're going to take a breath in as you go to the left. Breathe out as you come forward on the right. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now we're going to go the opposite direction. Breathe in as you go to the right. Breathe out as you come around the back to the left. Breathe in to the right. Breathe out as you come around to the back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay. Just looking at the time. Okay, we will do the knees and the ankles. So knees are next. So you take the first 2 fingers, your index finger and your middle finger. So the peace sign basically, and you, or a bunny. And you go to your knee. So really hard to see because I'm wearing dark clothes. So your knee has these little indents on either side. If you feel your knee, you can find those indents, okay? That point in Chinese medicine is called the cow's nostrils. So imagine them, where the ring would be. If you've ever seen a cow with the ring through its nostrils, that's where it would be. So that's what you want to do, okay? And you do it to both knees. So I'm going to see if I can step back. Okay, that's a little easier. So you're going to place your feet together. You're going to put your fingers, these two fingers, on those points, okay? Grab the rest of your knees with the rest of your hand, okay? You can see my hands, okay? We're going to go outward, and you want to do this gently. You've probably seen people do this exercise, do this, do this. It's that, but we're doing it with the breath, okay? And we're holding the knee in place. We don't want to create any injury, but we're also stimulating those points. So if you have knee pain, this is an area where you will stimulate healing to that area, okay? So take a breath in, and we're going to go out and come forward, okay? So take a breath in, breathe out, breathe in. We'll do this 9 times. Breathe out, that's 2. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in through the nose, belly goes up, breathe out, belly button to the spine. Through the nose, breathe in, breathe out, that's 4. Out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. That's 9. Now we're going to go the opposite direction. So I went outward. Now I'm going to go inward. So breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. You're holding those points the whole time. That's 3. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your nose. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. That's 6, 3 more. Breathe in, out, breathe in, out, breathe in, breathe out. That's 9, okay? So now you stand. I think you can see my feet. So I'm wearing shoes. Bare feet is best. But I just want you to be able to see what I'm doing, okay? So for the feet, it's really easy. You're gonna do one side at a time. We'll start on the left, because we're starting everything on the left. You're gonna rotate, and so you go on your toes, just like you would if you've ever done this exercise, like you run track, or you're a runner, or you're warming up, you're wanting your feet to loosen up. So you're gonna go on your toes, and you're gonna rotate outward first. So take a breath in, rotate out, in, breathe out. You're gonna do that, let's do it 3 times each direction. Okay, so that's 3. Now we're gonna go inward, rotating the ankle as you take a breath in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. We're gonna switch to the right side, okay? So you're going to go outward first. So 1, 2, and you're breathing in and out. So breathe in, breathe out. Now we're gonna go inward. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so let's do a quick review of all those movements. I'm not going to do them 3 times. I want you to just kind of see where you have issues, where you might have questions. Okay, so the first movement is the neck. And you're doing feet shoulder width apart, with shoulders down on the inside of your ankles. So you're like a triangle, okay? First movement is chin to chest. Take a breath in. Take a breath out, back down, come back to center. Now the next movement is turning the head. So you start with the left always. Take a breath in, turn to the left. Breathe out as you come back to center. Breathe into the right. Come back to center. Okay, that's the second movement. Third movement is the rotation, chin to chest. Take a breath in as you come up on the left. Breathe out as you come down on the right. Okay. When you've done that 9 times, you go in the opposite direction. Breathe in as you come up on the right. Breathe out as you come down on the left. Okay, bring your head back to center. So those are the neck movements, shoulder movements. First, we're going to start with going back, okay? Take a breath in, belly goes out, shoulder goes back, breathe out as you come back. So you do that 9 times, and then you do the opposite direction. And so for this one, take a breath in first before you start the movement. Take a breath in, shoulder goes forward, belly goes in, okay? So that's that movement. Next is the hip. So open hand on the left for women, closed hand on the right for women. For men, it's the opposite, open hand on the right, closed hand on the left, okay? You're gonna put it in the curve of your back, create a lock with the fist, and we're going to start with the left side, your left side. Take a breath in as you go back on the left. Take a breath out as you come out on the right. You do that 9 times and you switch directions. Take a breath in as you go to the right and breath out as you come around the back to the left. Okay, next is your knees. So the 2 fingers like a peace symbol. Those fingers go into the little, you bring your feet together for this, into the little indents on either side of your knees, cow's nostrils. Then you take the rest of your hand and you hold on to your knee. We're gonna go outward first. Take a breath in, outward, and breath out. Okay, now you do that 9 times and then we're gonna do opposite direction. So now you're going inward, breath in, breath out. So that's the knees. Next movement is the ankles. Okay, we're gonna start on the left side. We're gonna go outward first. Take a breath in, go out, pressing down, breath out as you come in. And now 9 times after that, you do 9 times inwards. Now we're gonna go inward, take a breath in, and come around as you breathe out. Do both sides. Right side, outward, breath in as you go outward on the right, and breath out. Now, after doing that 9 times, you're gonna go inward, breathe in, breathe out. So that's the first half of the form. And you may be noticing how you're feeling right now. Maybe you feel a little pain in places, maybe you feel loosened up, maybe notice something while you were doing it. So I'm going to open it up for questions. We have about 15, 16 minutes for questions. Go ahead and before we do that, let's do a quick closing. So we'll just do the quick closing. So you've done the practice. You put your feet together, okay? Take your hands, open them up, go around the back like you're gathering everything behind you. You're gathering the chi behind you, okay? Then you're gonna bring them forward like you're presenting something, so your palms are up, okay? And for women, right hand underneath. For men, left hand underneath. And you're gonna bring your hands together like they're getting locked up. So right where the thumb and the index finger are, you're bringing them together. And you're going to put them on what's your lower dantian. That's the area between your belly button and your pubic bone. And you're gonna take a moment there, close your eyes. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Do that one more time. Notice how you're feeling right now. Notice if you feel heat anywhere in your body. Any sensations you might be noticing. And when you're ready, you're going to take your hands off. You're going to curl your fingers in one by one until you get to the index finger, and then you're going to take your thumb and put it on the outside of the nail of your index finger. Okay, like you're holding back, and you're going to hold it there. You might feel something, you might not feel anything. Just notice what you're feeling. Okay, and when you're ready, release the pinky, the ring finger, the middle finger, the index finger, and the thumb. Shake it out. Okay. Okay, I'm ready for questions if anyone has any. Yeah, with the breath in. This is Wendy. Do you always start a movement with the breath in? Yeah. You can also practice this, doing it the opposite, and see how you feel. It's good feedback. All of this practice is for you to notice when you're doing it the way I'm teaching you, and when you don't do it, like, what do you notice? It's an experiment to see why the practice is the way it is. It's not just something that's been made up recently. This is a form that's been around for probably 1,000 or so years, and it's been passed down like I'm doing with you. With I don't consider myself a master, but my master who taught me, his master taught him, and all the way through the lineage. And the thinking behind it is that all those teachers are still present in the form, and as I'm teaching you, they're communicating with you too. Me explaining things is them communicating. I'm not coming up with all of this. They're telling me what to say as I say it, and you're getting the information as you need it, which I think is a beautiful concept. And that's the beauty of this unbroken lineage, is that you have that connection deep, deep, deep through time by the form as it's being presented to you right now, and how much of it you are actually taking in for yourself. Okay. Let's see who. Sandra, is there a principle to remembering which hand is which, left, right, for women and for men? Okay, so it's a yin and yang thing. Okay, so your right hand. This is an esoteric concept. So in Chinese way of looking at, or Taoist way of looking at the world, in the West, we think of north as like the point that we focus on, because all our maps have the north arrow. In China, south is more important, and that's because of the 5 element aspect. So east, south, west, and north is how that's written. South is summertime, east is spring, west is autumn, and north is winter. So it makes total sense, because in the wintertime, it's dark, everything's going inward, so it's movement. In the springtime, everything is going up. That's the dragon. Dragon symbolizes east. And then you have south, which is fire. That's summertime. That's things like growing and becoming abundant. That's like going outward. So you have this movement of inward, upward, outward, and then the west is going down. Things are falling. Think of fall. The word fall is leaves falling. So this movement is also reflected in our body, it breathing in and out, engendering that fire of the fire dragon, because the breath is really important in this form. So women face the north, men face the south. So if you stand and you, with that in mind, for men, the left hand is the yang energy. That upward movement is yang. That outward movement is yang. The downward movement is yin. The inward movement is yin. And yin is usually associated with women, and yang, Y-A-N-G, is associated with men. But we have both. So when I say men fist in the left hand, that's their yang. And for women, fist in the right hand, because we're facing to the north, that's our yang. Okay, so that it's where the yin and yang reside in our body. So when you do that posture at the end, where I have you bring your hands together, this is called the Tai Chi mudra. So Tai Chi can be spelled T-A-I-C-H-I. That's the old spelling. The new way of saying is Tai Chi, T-A-I-J-I. So Tai Chi mudra is putting the hands, you're creating a lock over that area where you've just generated all this Qi energy with the Qigong that you've been doing. So Qigong, the work of Qi. So that's, it's about longevity, it's about life. And the more chi you have, the more savings account you have, the more you can keep going. So that's why men left hand underneath, that's their yang hand on the yang area. Women right hand underneath the yang, their yang in the yang area. So hopefully that explains it. It's pretty esoteric and you may go over it over. Okay. Looking at the rest of Sandra's and then I'll go to the other questions. Hopefully that helps you, Sandra. It's not arbitrary. There is a reason for it. Okay, Wendy, is there, thinking of the perineum, are the glutes actively involved in some of the movements as well? The glutes will be involved in the stance that we do for the second part. It's a horse stance, and I'll talk about how to do that correctly. The perineum, if you focus on that, you'll notice a difference. If you let the perineum go while you're doing the practice, you'll notice a difference. Things feel, my perspective, because you may have a different sense of it. From my perspective, I notice I'm not as focused and the energy doesn't feel as strong to me. Just like with the breath, if you do it not breathing or holding your breath, you're going to notice a difference. So all those movements, the in and out, the up and down, the around, and the perineum being held, you're basically like a pot. You're stirring it, you're putting the flames in it, you're engendering the chi, and the perineum needs to be closed. If it's open, it just leaks out what you have there, like a sieve. This is from Madeline. So hard to isolate my spine shaking at specific points, especially upper spine between base of skull and top of spine meeting torso. Okay, so Madeline, potentially you may have something going on in your neck. Just something to kind of process over time as you do this practice and you do it over and over, you will be able to visualize and isolate. It all depends on where you are yourself in this. You can also, in between now and the next time we meet in January, you can go online and look at pictures of spine levels and kind of help you visualize where those are. Hopefully that helps. And if it doesn't, reach out to me next time we go and give me some feedback on what you've done between now and then and how I can help you a little more. Okay, Sandra Larson. No way will I remember that. My Western brain will be need a mnemonic. And I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm assuming it's the hands. So just remember, women, right hand. Right hand in a fist, right hand first on the belly. If it's a binary, so if you remember one, the opposite is the other. Okay, Sandra's got to run. Okay, great. Looking forward to January. Okay, and any other questions? Great. See you all next year, 2021.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Dr.
Mindy.
Ronnie.
Thank you for being here, and
Yeah.
have a great holiday, Christmas, New Year's. Looking forward to next year.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Durrani.